Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's Time to Thrive. Loren Slocum Lahav here, and we're going to get busy and put you guys to work right now. Thinking about what were some of the things I really wanted to teach you, especially with regards to thriving. And you think about people when they're thriving in their lives, what do they do? What they do is they check in often, right? You need to be able to know where you are and also measure where you're at. So we're going to do a little exercise that Jim Rohn has taught for years, and Tony Robbins looks at it. It's called the Wheel of Life. Jim Rohn calls it check up from the neck up. So I'm going to have you just take a minute, and I'm going to do it as a wheel. I'll just draw it here for you guys to see what to do. And then you're going to go ahead and kind of take this little self-examination. So I'd like for you to think of it, not a great looking wheel, but a semi-wheel. And I want you to think about different areas of your life, right? And when you look and you go and you buy a house, what's the first thing that they tell you to look at? First thing they tell you to look at is the foundation, right? And if the foundation's not great, then they tell you to run from the house, not to buy the house. So we're gonna look at the foundation for your life. I think so many times we can get in like, oh, read this book or watch this video or do this and that without really looking at the foundation of your life. And I would, in another segment, I'll talk about leadership. But if you think about the first level of leadership is really level 1 leadership, and that's that you got to lead yourself, right? My friend would always say, you shouldn't go clean up the community till you clean up your own backyard. So you got to look at your own life right now and kind of every week do an evaluation of where you're at. So the thing I want you to write in each of these areas, the first is your health, right? If you were to think about your health, and give it a number, 0 being right here, 10 being up here. If you were to look at your health, where are you? You want to fill it in. So let's say I'm at a 7 this week. I'd fill in that amount, right? 70% of that wheel, let's just say. And then I would say to myself, why would I give myself a 7 that week? Would I say, okay, I only did Pilates once instead of twice this week, like I said I was going to do. Instead of doing 70% water content food, I only did 50% water content food. If I said I was going to drink half my body weight in ounces every day, but I only drank a third of my body weight in ounces every day. I said I was going to work out, 3 times this week, and I only worked out 1 time this week other than my Pilates, right? So that's why I would give myself a 7, right? So you want to say, what's the number and why did you give yourself that number? So the first is your area of health. Where are you? That's a 7. Next, let's go to that of relationships. So that could mean with your kids, your parents, your friends, your spouse. If you were to look at where you are with regards to your relationships, where would you give yourself this week? So for me, this week, I would give myself a 9, right? The reason I give myself a 9 this week is I'm going to a fundraiser tomorrow night on a date night with my husband. I had a date day with my son, Quinn. I checked in with Joss at least 3 times this week. I went on a date with Asher. I had my friends over this week and we spent major quality time together. I talked to my mom every day this week. I was a good girl, right? So that's why I'd give myself that number, okay? So we've got our health, we've got our relationship, and maybe you're not gonna do this exercise with me right now. Could, but you want to just really, after we do this video, you want to make sure that you do this exercise. So we've got health, we've got relationship. How about finances, right? Finances, I'm gonna give myself a 9 this week, right? And the reason I'm gonna give myself a 9 this week was that I tithed a lot this week. For me, that was a big thing, giving back to the community. I gave 100% of all the proceeds from my IM cards to the Victims Release Fund that's taking place here. The other thing I did was I didn't buy the Stitch Fix that came to my house. Even though I really wanted this sweater, I didn't buy it, right? So I saved myself some money by not buying that, even though I could have, right? So I made a smart decision that way. I said no to my daughter for something that she wanted to buy. We really didn't know. It's a hard one, as we know, with regards to that, because I say yes a lot to my daughter and I want to say. But then I also finances. I've been saving to buy my son this gift for Christmas, and I actually bought it, but I was smart about it, and that's the only thing that I'm buying. The other thing that I did was I checked in with my accountant, and I went through everything that I did, this week. Anyway, so I give myself a 9 with regards to finances. That's big for me, big. For me to be a 9 with regards to financially, because I love to buy gifts. I love to do all of those things, but I needed to be smart this week as well because I was contributing a lot, so I needed to make sure that I'm financially savvy. So we've got health, we've got relationships, we've got finances. Let's go to life management, time management. Life/time management. I'm going to give myself because of my amazing new right hand, Jessica, I'm going to give myself an 8 this week. And why? Because, yay, I hired Jessica to work with me. So what that does is it leverages my time, right? Me to focus on the things that are important to do, like creating these classes for you guys. Leveraging some of that work to her that she is amazing at doing that I'm not so great at doing. Other thing that I did was I leveraged some things for Joss and Danielle to do, right? Some of the things is I really set times for my calls this week. I also set boundaries around my quality time with my family, right? I really, I didn't pick up my phone all the time to answer every single text. That could have been a mistake this week, but anyway, I'm going to give myself an 8 with regards to my life management and my time management of this week. So where would you give yourself this week with regards to life management and time management? The next one that we're going to go to is we are going to go to mission, purpose, right? You could call it, I hope you're not calling it your job. Right, so hopefully you're living your purpose, you're living your mission. This week, I'm going to give myself a 10. I feel really inspired, right? I feel like I've got a great team that's growing. I'm excited because I'm going to start working with somebody that I'm super excited about to do some PR, right? I'm super excited about what we stand for. I'm excited about the Greece Lobella trip that my friend is going to help me organize, right? I'm excited about, once again, Jessica, you're going to hear a lot about her, but she's helping get me organized, and I know that we're adding value, and I know that I'm on track, and I know that I'm not scattered and all over the place, but I'm really focused. I've got my blinders on, and we're really focused on what we're doing, right? So mission and purpose, I feel that I'm definitely on a 10. I feel like I've got major momentum there. And then the last piece is contribution. Once again, I'm gonna give myself a 9 because I feel like we can always give more. We can always do more and give back. So contribution, not just about giving back in the community, but just giving back to myself. Like I took time for me, to make sure that I was full. I made sure I actually got my nails done, right? I made sure that I actually did the things to take care of myself. Contribution, I took the time to really be with my daughter and just spend some time at the park, right? We went and we helped to build the garden this morning. We made 3,000 of the bags to help the emergency workers, right? I wanted to give blood. That's why I said contribution. I'm going to give myself a 9. I would have given myself a 10 if we would have been able to give blood this week, right? But wasn't able to give blood this week, so I give myself that level of contribution back to my team. I took the time, even though I was tired, I took the time to do the 3 ways, right? I took time to welcome new people to the team. I took time to put in my orders, right? So contribution-wise. So anyway, that's my wheel this week. Where's the area? Not too bad, right? Like not so bad. Still a little bumpy. So what are the things that I need to make a priority? Obviously, the one that for me this week that I didn't do as well as I could have was on my health, right? But if I'm looking, I'm going to have a a bumpy ride. But if I would have what can I do to improve for next week? I can look at this and I can know what are the things that I really need to make a priority for next week. And knowing that I need to make my health a priority, what are those things that I can do? So if you want to know how to go from surviving to thriving, the way that you do it is by checking in each week and find out and see, are you really walking your talk, or are you just talking the talk? And so for me, I've got to do better next week with regards to those areas of health. I need to make sure that I don't just make my kids a shake, that I actually drink a shake. I need to make sure that I don't just buy those yummy juices that we just bought, that I actually drink those yummy juices. I need to make sure to take that fancy water bottle that my son, that hydro flask, I need to actually fill it up and drink the water from it. I need to make sure that instead of just eating what's convenient, that I need to make sure to do maybe meal prep for myself with regards to it. So anyway, a great thing for yourself, if you really want to thrive in your life, you can do this every week, check in every week. And is this an easy thing that you can teach your team? Absolutely. And then you can see why people aren't getting the results that they want and what they need to do to get those results. So hopefully this was something that will serve you and serve your team. You can do it with your kids, and you can always constantly be evaluating. So stay true. See you next week.